thinking about tackling this bracelet now. And I've looked through my thread here. This one here would go okay on that bracelet, but I actually found the exact color. It is 563 in DMC floss. So we're not going to reinvent it. We're actually just going to refix it. Okay, let's see if I can get this. I don't know if it's tied or was, but da da da. Okay. Yeah, see if that didn't have that gap there. See, and these are got covered enough so that they don't have the gap. And what I can do is just put another layer, take this right here, and just go over it again. Instead of removing all that. And of course I put a knot in this. I am so good. I am so good. Yeah. Da 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 dee da dee dum dee da dee da 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 dee da da dee da dee dum. All right. Not sure. Okay. So it's got to go around this way. You twist and twist and twist until it's all nice and smooth. All right, this is the glue I was telling you about. Ta-da. I don't know if you've ever played with rubber cement glue before. It smells, yeah. Oh, excuse me. All right, just had a sneezing fit. I'm a multiple sneezer, so all right. I've just got a little bit of glue on this toothpick. And I'm going to move that off. Just put it right here. Just so we have something so that this one will catch on. Ah, come on. Catch on to it. I know. Hold it in place. Hold it in place. Go around again. But all I'm going to be doing is going around and around. See that string right there? I'll clip at the end. That's not a problem. But I'm just going to... Now, if this here wasn't on the bracelet, I could just go around the end, and but since I don't want to tear it apart, didn't want to tear it apart. Anyways, so let me just do this, and it's going to be very boring. I guess what I could do is stop it and then fast forward through this so you can watch the whole exciting process, right? Got that on. Now I'm going to clip off this excess. pull that up a little bit and tuck that string underneath. All right, let me get some of this glue here. Just some, pick that up. Let's just go around the outside here. Make sure that it stays put. There. All right. Is it perfect? No. Is it wearable? Yeah. Okay. All right. I'd wear it, but you know me. Okay, let me put this away, and I'll do something else, and we'll put together a video. Well, hello, my friends. I spent yesterday doing part 2 of this video, and my camera was in the wrong spot. I had to move everything because my husband had a little bitty sore on his thumb where he thought there was a sliver in it, and he needed to use my ring light and magnifying glass so that he could see that it was just, it may have had a sliver go in there, but it came back out. There was nothing in there. So, okay, this is what we did on that video. Bring that up here. We did this one here, and we did this one. And these are our hair accessory. You take a small braid and you just wind it up into there, and then that sits like that. It just hangs down and is very cute. Okay, so let me show you how we did that. I may go back and pull some of those pieces out, show you what I was doing. I don't know. I think maybe I should just redo the whole thing. And it's not like those were the very first ones I ever made. These are the second one and third one I ever made. Actually, this is the second one. This was the third one. So we're going to make a fourth one. And we're going to use the wire that Scott gave me last Wednesday. And I did a video on that. And we're going to have to decide. This is a step bail maker, I believe. And it's got 6 different sizes. I actually used 2 different sizes on this. I used this one and this one. I think I'm going to use this one again. If you have somebody with a lot of hair, you can use this one. Or you can actually, there's tools that are even bigger than that. But depending on the size of the braid, like I have one granddaughter whose hair is super thick, so I might want a spiral that's big around. I don't know. Anyways, let me move those over to the side, and we'll start off with how we did that. And I said I was going to use that step bail making tool. And so you pinch it in there, you push the wire around, you come back, and you see how it moved? You just move the pliers, just like that, and just keep wrapping. Yeah. Last night, for some reason, I couldn't sleep. Finally got to sleep about 5 a.m. this morning. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We decided yesterday that 6 was a good number of wraps on this. Okay, so that's 6 right there. 6 coils. And I want enough to do a little spiral at the top. So, let me clip about there. Set that aside. Not going to need that again. Not going to need those again. The one tool, and if you watched my video before this where it said Scott's gift, there was one jig in there and I did not understand what it was. So I went to look to see if I could find more information on it. And it was actually a spiral maker. I probably will use it more for the jig, like what, for, I could make things with it. I think I told you about that, in that video. I don't know. But anyways, today I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way. You're going to take the very end, go around like that, make a loopy like that. You can use the wire, the rubber coated pliers here. And this is so you don't damage your wire. And you just grab it like that, squeeze and pull, squeeze and pull. And it keeps it flat. And basically it's the same idea as this, only more freestyle. You're not going around a peg, so this is not going to be perfectly round. If I was to use the jig, it would be perfectly round. But since I got no sleep, I am probably not up to demonstrating for the first time a new tool. I will play with it because I do like spirals. And when you have a tool, you should play with it, right? All right, so right there. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bend it up because this is going to be the front facing. And I'm going to bring my little anvil. My husband bought this for me many moons ago. Yeah. And I think my sister gave me this little chasing hammer. The hammers I have are all metal. So this one here is softer and it's made so it doesn't mar your wire. Anyways, the reason I did that is because it makes it very hard. It what's it called? Tempers the metal a little bit. Okay, now we're going to pull this apart a little bit. The very first one I ever made, I used a spring, not a homemade one, one I harvested out of an insulin injector, automatic injector. Do I have it right here? I don't see it. It's here somewhere, but I just can't lay my eyes on it because there's a lot of junk around here. There's about 50% of the junk that was there, but there's still a lot. Okay, now we need to make a loop on this side. I could have started off before I did any of the coil and used my looper and put a loop in there. It's not necessary. It doesn't have to be a perfect loop. It just needs to be a little one. So we're going to use these same needle nose pliers and just make a loop. Just like that, just so we have something to put a chain on. And the chain that I'm using came from my sister. This was all the loose chains that were in the box that she sent me. These are awesome. I saved out, kept out a piece here. This chain's going to be a little longer than these chains. You see how these chains are about that long. You can make them whatever length you want. A lot depends on how long the hair is of the person you're making this thing for. All right, so I'm going to change up a little bit. I'm going to use this bead cap, which I did not use on the other ones. And see, they come in a thing like this. Got a couple of those. And I'm going to use this style of bead cap. I got a bunch of different colors on that one. I thought I would do a green and pink motif. I also got some little tiny bead caps. I got some head pins. Head pin means that it's got a flat or a round end on it. It doesn't have a loop. If it had a loop, it'd be an eye pin. Okay? Then I had made some Gummy Bears. I have to think about it when I say gummy bears, because I think the first time I ever had gummy bears, it was in Germany, and they are pronounced gummy bears. It is the word for gummy in German. So there you go. Okay, I'm missing one of these. Hey, no, 2. That's all I was going to do. Okay, and I figured what I would do is I'd do 2 of these at the very top, 3 of these clustered in the middle, and then, or in between each one of these maybe, and this down the, so it'd be kind of like that. Should be cute. Let me put these away, because we're not gonna deal with any more of these. And put it in my resin bits there. I forgot I even had them. I was looking for something else. I'm going, oh, I need that. Okay, now in the middle of these, you have to put a bead of some kind, because the head pin will slide right through, because those holes on these here are too big, and you don't want your thing come apart on you. All right, what I used on the other ones were these little seed beads, but I thought I would put on this one a regular size bead right here, and then put a little green one there. But I have to decide which. I think I'm going to do with the green. Yeah. Okay, can you see those? The green. Now everything's too far that way. All right. Let's open these up. Come on. Jump out. And these were harvested out of another project, because that's what we do. And the reason I have to have one of these with this bead is because the holes on these beads are large also. So, you do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? Okay, this time I am gonna use my looper. All right, let's start with green bead, a little pink one. I'm trying very hard to use colors I normally don't use. Usually I'm drawn to blues and greens. So I'm going to do a lot more pinks and purples when I don't care what color I use. Okay, perfect loop. I'm going to save these because put them in the little container right here. I can make eye pins out of them. And how I'd make an eye pin would be make a loop on one end, and then put a bead in there and make a loop on the other end. Yeah, simple, simple. Easy peasy. The reason I picked this green is because I'm doing the green gummy bears. See, I said gummy, yay. Okay, with this, you hold it tight so that your loop isn't going to be way up the shaft. Put it in nice and snug. I bend it a little bit, then make a squeeze, and then I bring it back just a little bit so that the loop is kind of more even. More even. Okay, that's all I'm going to have of those. I'm going to have 3 of these. You usually do like odd numbers of things. All right, now this, oh, that looks really cute in that one. And that's why I picked this one. It's actually for this particular. Last time, remember I said you want to make that nice and tight? I could not, when you put your thumb here, there's still about this much room before you hit that bead. So what I did was I took a piece of towel, paper towel, made a little bunch there, put that right there so I'd had something to push against that bead with. So if you have something that you can't get it to stop moving around, yeah, improvise, yes. Okay, There's that bead. Keep with that. Okay. Paper towel. Looper. Put right up in. Give it a little bend. Squeeze that. Bring it back a little bit. You can see that's a little open. That's okay because we're going to put it on a chain. So we got to close it up anyways. We have to open it up and then close it up. All right. There. Put it in here. Stick that up in there. Put it in our, whoops, put it in our loop. Actually, it just calls it a loop. I always call it a looper because it makes loops. You know, to me, it just sounds like that's what it should be called, is a looper. Okay, we start with a little green bead. And we said we were going to do the bright green. Okay, and then, okay, now let's look at that. It's kind of cute. Let's look at it with yellow. Just make sure that we did not, you know, jump the gun here and go, oh, maybe yellow would have been a good color. I don't like the yellow. What about you? No, I think the green was the best choice. And on this one, I will not have to use that paper towel because this is an open flower. And I can just go like that and push on the bottom. Okay. Go here, pull it down, squeeze it, pull it back a little bit, ta-da! And put that away. Now we're done with the head pins, so let's put those away. Okay. Okay, I'm going to put the beads away, and I'll be right back. Also drank some of my tea. Okay, we are back. Let's get some small jump rings. They're a pain in the butt to work with, but you don't want anything showing too much. So, let's start with the bottom. We are going to, let's see, oh, maybe I don't need a jump ring. Maybe I can just hook that into that and don't move on me. The thing with eye pins versus head pins, the wire can spin on a head pin and you don't have anything to grab onto down here. If you have the eye, you can actually put the eye between your fingers and kind of squeeze it. All right, let's see. Clasp it. Don't. I will need those for the Gummy Bears. Gummy Bears. Do you think I'll ever? I mean, I haven't been in Germany in 31 years, almost 32 years actually. And yet I still call it that. All right. Now, I'm going to take this and I'm going to squeeze on both sides of that end there because there's a little gap and I don't want any gaps because when some little girl is wearing this, she don't want it to come apart because little girls can be just as rough as little boys on things they're wearing. All right, perfect. All right, let's go ahead and put these on next. Let's grab that right there. Usually when I use this size jump ring, I'm just using it to connect two pieces like an earring to a bead or something because they are so small and they are hard to work with because, well, my hands are big and these are little. All right, I want to put that right about there. Okay, let's close that up. Alright, that's nice close. Let's pinch it just to make sure. Okay. Get a second little bear. And let's hook it right there. Wow, these jump rings are being nice to me. The other day when I was doing this, they were like fighting me the whole way. Of course, now that I said that, it will probably be, you know, like, oh, they were a jerk. I can be a jerk? Sure. No, you cannot be a jerk. Okay. These here, let's see, all three of these are connected with jump rings. I made them out of resin. I have a mold here that it's made for making, you can either make chocolate or with gelatin you can actually make gummy bears. And anyways, and I have made with that, but then I said, you know what? I'm going to use that in resin, which means I can no longer make it with do the candy, so that's okay. And I did make, you can use sugar-free Jell-O and make sugar-free gummy bears. Use Knox unflavored gelatin. Use whatever flavor sugar-free gelatin you want to use. And boiling water. And that's the recipe, folks. And they're good. But I'm a crafter at heart, so I wanted to craft. Okay, these here, I'm going to put these both on the top. And I think I'm going to use, close that up good. I did close that up good. So I'm going to use a bigger jump ring because I'm going to put more stuff on it. So let's go with the next size up. Do we have the next size up or the next size? Wow. Yeah, let's go with the next size. Because we have, are these flimsy? Not all jump rings are created equal. Okay. So let's open this up. We're going to put one of these on. Put the chain on. Okay, hold tight to it. Okay. Put the end loop of the chain. Why do you keep falling? Let me grab a different pair of pliers. Just because you're being that way. I take my attention off it for a second and it just jumps out of my hand. Okay, there's that one. We're going to put this one right there. And we're going to put that right there. And you can come back and play with us. As long as you don't drop stuff. Okay. Ooh, how'd you get out of round? Alright, can you see that it's a little out of round, that this right here has been pulled a little bit that way? Can you see that? Let me get that out of the way. Can you see? And the best way to do that is you pinch that, you hold on to this piece, and you just wiggle it this way, this way, this way as you're pushing together. And then you come back in, and right where the two pieces meet, wherever that is, right there, you're going to take your pliers and you're just going to, did you hear that snap? Yeah, they're together. Okay, now I just need to put some pink ones on. And we're not going to use those. We're going to... Alright, I'm going to need that paper towel again. Because I want that sticking out so I can hook the chain to it. Right like that right there. Ta-da! Okay, and then we just pinch there, and we're going to draw that in. Why are you being a stinker on me? Doesn't want to move. There it goes. Oh, that's closed up nice. Can you see how nice that's closed? Yeah. All right. Let's do some more. Stick that in so this comes up. Okay. Okay, I'm going to pinch it together with these here because they're lined up. Come on. All right. Perfect. Perfect in every way. Where do I want that third one? I'm going to put it right where that Gummy Bear is. Yeah. Gummy Bear, Gummy Bear. I ain't never going to get that. I'm sorry. You guys are just going to have to live with me saying Gummy Bear. It just sounds wrong. You know, when you learn to say a word and then they tell you, oh, that's not how it's pronounced. This is how it's pronounced. And you try your best. Yeah. All right. Now, I don't want it on the exact same link. There we go. But close enough. Okay. All right. Stick that in there. All right, there we go. Now we're just going to squeeze it. Make sure there's no gap at all. Here we go. All right. And there we have our pink and green. These right here. That one's a bigger one, and we got the little one here and the little one here. This one's just got the one Gummy Bear in it. This one's got the 3 with the little flowers. What do you think? It's very easy to do. I would encourage you guys to go ahead and try your hand at it if you've got a wire. It doesn't have to be this pretty shiny wire. I have pretty shiny wire because that was given to me. Have I ever bought pretty shiny wire? Not to my knowledge. I have you want to make sure the wire is not too malleable. You know, you don't want something where you just take the wire and you can just go like this with it, you know. That's not actually wire, but I don't have a wire right here. When you move that, it stays in place really well. And it takes, when I go like this here, it doesn't just bend. There are some wires out there that are dead soft and they will bend. So that would not be good in this unless you were to take the chasing hammer and your little anvil and just go and harden it first. Do you need an anvil? You can do it on a table. A flat piece of metal, a piece of wood. You can use a regular hammer. You don't have to have a fancy hammer. I have a fancy hammer because my sister gave it to me. I have a fancy anvil because my husband gave it to me. I have fancy tools because my husband bought them for me. You know, I have cool beads. Well, I made these, but I have cool beads because people gave them to me. Oh, there's this spring. This is the kind of spring that I used for the one that I gave Ren. Anyways, I put beads on it, and the problem with this here, it's like memory wire in that it is very, very, very unforgiving. It will not bend with simple jewelry making tools. If I had some of the pliers and stuff out from my husband's workshop outside, I probably could make the loop a lot easier. This right here, you know, you could bend that up and maybe glue a stone in it or something, you know, something like one of these. Or you could wire it in with, you know, like small wire. Nope, I can't. That's a little too small. Okay, but you could put something here, bend it up instead of the spiral here. You could put a bead there. Or you could actually put a wire through it and just wire it on both sides. A lot of things you could do. If you had a charm, you could glue a charm on there. But like I said, the problem with this is it's just too... It goes right back into shape, which is great, because if you get it how you want it, it's not going to get smushed out of shape when you're playing around. And these are all the different shades I could have used in this bead here. Could have done like that purpley color. I just think it needed to stand out, and the fact that these are green, I thought that was a great color for that. All right, well, now I can post this because it's actually, you actually got to see what I was doing instead of just listening to me yammer with. I was like, it was right here. It was like right here. You'd see the pliers, and you might see a little bit right here, and then it would disappear. Anyways, this is Bethany with New Life Jewelry Creations. Thanks for stopping by, and I hope you had a good time. I hope you try some of these. If you got any, I mean, you put beads, you can put whatever you want on there. You got some little, you got guitar picks. You can do the whole thing in guitar picks if you wanted to. Or if you had some pretty beads, you can wild beads it, whatever. But, yep. See you next time. Hit the like button. Shh. Bye.